Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just one tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
Good afternoon, family. Good evening. Hope you guys are having a beautiful, easy day. 5 minutes past the top of the hour. My name is Joby. To those who are here for the first time on all our YouTube channels, on the radio stations, Spreaker, Spotify, and to those who shall be catching this on a replay as well. Hope you guys get to enjoy today's conversation. Again, this is the Africa Today show, and of course, welcome to the media of the 21st century. Of course, today we're going to be talking about America's financial crisis, which, of course, this is something that was said by someone who goes by the name Peter Schiff. Literally, he talked about how the America financial crisis, this was actually in 2022, 2023, how America's financial crisis is going to be worse than the 2008. And actually, this happens to be a prediction that it's said to happen this year. We're going to be talking about inflation in America as we look at how the American media is giving out fake adverts of people, how much they can afford at only $3. And the reality at the ground when you go to the stores, how much things are costing and how expensive they are. We're going to be talking about also Trump himself, claiming how he has actually been able to beat the previous president, that is Biden, on inflation. And he said that actually this is 9 times better, and everything he had to say. But we also have literally real facts from the people living in America themselves, talking about how hard inflation is. We're going to be talking about also literally gold, which is, of course, still going super, super high. Gold has extended the gains, that is to a record of $4,870. And that is now up to, yesterday actually it gained as well. It was at 47, and now it has currently gained at that is $4,870, and now that is at 200 plus. That is 280 plus. That is just in only 48 hours. Also, we're going to hint on that. I'll explain literally deeper as I read an article which is explaining why the global central banks are secretly replacing the dollar with the gold at a record of a very high speed. Much more coming as we get into the conversation. And of course, a quick reminder again to get yourself our application on the Google Play Store. Black Hot Fire Network is the name. And of course, you can get these amazing organic supplements right there on the like of ashwagandha multivitamin. We have CMOS, Moringa Pure. We have other amazing supplements. Also some amazing merchandise as well on the likes of t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, different colors and sizes. Karibuni sana once again. Let me share some literally beetroot as we come back after this commercial break, as we get straight with the conversation with a little bit of history. Today is on Wednesday, and I love to share some history before we get into the conversation every Wednesday, as we get to understand a few things of what took place, what should be understood, what is not being understood.
Beetroot,
and the
nature's powerhouse. Packed with vitamins, antioxidants and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried and finely ground to preserve their rich nutrition content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
$20.90. Once again, karibuni sana. I'm going to start with this video right here, which is talking about how the FBI plot to neutralize black leaders, and looking at someone like Martin Luther King, whom yesterday, actually during his service, I bet this past weekend, we saw one of his daughters, youngest daughter, talking about how when Trump actually had the audacity of talking about what we were discussing yesterday, that the civil rights movement on literally hurt white people. But we discussed deeper on that. I don't want to go into that today. But let me start with this amazing video as we learn a little bit of history and as we continue with today's conversation. Karibuni.
For most of the 20th century, the FBI wasn't just a government agency, it was an American religion. The G Men, the Untouchables, in movies and TV shows, scripts often provided by the Bureau themselves. They were straight arrow scientists of law enforcement. They caught the kidnappers, they broke up the mob, and they stood as a shield against chaos. But while they were playing that story on television, it was a different reality happening in the dark. For decades, the Bureau functioned as a domestic political police force, one that viewed the Bill of Rights not as a rule book, but as an obstacle. So today, we're going to walk through that system that J. Edgar Hoover built. We're going to look at how the machinery of national security turned inward against its own citizens, from civil rights leaders to college sophomores. And we're going to tell the story of how the perfect crime finally broke that spell. So let me show you the trail that turned the G-Men into a ghost story. So,
Karibu sana Keith, we're just getting started. How are you doing?
I'm all right about you, Joby.
I'm good. I'm good.
to understand what happened, you have to understand the atmosphere in America. This is the Cold War, the Red Scare. For decades, the American political establishment was gripped by a singular fear: communism. And it wasn't just Soviet tanks, it was the fear that subversion was robbing America from the inside. J. Edgar
That's all
Hoover,
a lie.
the
That's
bill
all
in
a lie. Yeah.
4 was the high priest of this fear. To Hoover, subversion was a fluid term. And he didn't just mean a Soviet spy. He meant the civil rights movement. He meant the anti-war movement, the gay rights organizations, and the feminist movements. By the late 1960s, the country was on fire. Cities were burning, campuses were revolting against the Vietnam War, and the Black freedom struggle was challenging the racial hierarchy. The FBI stopped looking for crimes and started looking for ideologies. They created a secret list like the Security Index, a roster of 20,000 Americans who were to be rounded up, detained without trial in the event of a national emergency. These weren't bombers, they were professionals, labor organizers, writers. The Bureau had convinced themselves that to save democracy, they had to suspend it. But the public didn't know about this index. They trusted the badge until the night of March 8th, 1971. This heist changed history. William David, a physics professor at Harvard Ford College, he was malmannered, he was a father, he was a pacifist, but he had come to a radical conclusion. The only way to prove that the FBI was suppressing dissent was to steal their files. So he recruited 8 ordinary citizens. They called themselves the Citizens Commission to investigate the FBI. Included in the crew was a cab driver, a graduate student, and a religious professor. They spent months casing the FBI's field office in Media, Philadelphia. It was a small suburban outpost. They noticed that security was almost non existent: standard locks, no alarms. They picked the perfect night, the fight of the century between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. They knew no police, the guards, and the neighbors would be glued to the radio and the TV. So while Ali was taking punches in the ring, they were picking the lock. They walked into the darkened office. They didn't take cash. They didn't take any weapons. They packed up every single cabinet's contents into a suitcase and walked out. From there, they drove to a farmhouse, covered the windows with blankets, and began to read. And what they found wasn't criminal evidence, it was political dynamite. They found a route slip with terrifying instructions that stated enhance paranoia and get the point across that there is an FBI agent behind every mailbox. They also found a strange acronym that no American had ever heard of before, COINTELPRO. So, what was COINTELPRO? The acronym actually stood for Counterintelligence Program. It was a secret series of operations designed not to arrest targets but neutralize them. The stolen files, the investigation that followed, revealed a playbook of psychological warfare. One of their most chilling examples was the campaign against Dr. King. The FBI wiretapped his homes, bugged his hotel rooms. They didn't find him committing treason, but they did find him committing extramarital affairs. In 1964, the FBI mailed a package to King's home. It contained an audio tape of him in a hotel room and an unsigned letter. The letter called him an evil, abhorrent beast. It suggested he removed himself.
Everybody knew MLK was getting outside booty. But the thing of him getting outside booty, that this whole thing he's saying is fake too. Because it wasn't about no COVID, because we know the cats with those hats created what we call the USSR, created Russia. Well, the USSR, the Soviet Union, when they killed the Tsar and his family, the king of Russia, back in 1917, because they refused to put a Rothschild bank in Russia. He said, I'm the king of Russia. There will be no bank for somebody else in here except something I own and control. So they had him overthrown and murdered, whole family murdered. So I deal this Cold War shit that's what you see on the surface. Oh, America's fighting against the Soviet Union. Soviet Union's fighting against America. How can they when the same entities control both of them? It's all a fraud. But go ahead, Joe.
Leader. In Chicago, the FBI provided floor plans to Fred Hampton's apartment to the local police before the raid that killed him. In Los Angeles, agents forged letters using cartoons and insults to incite a gang war between the Black Panthers and a rival group called the U.S. Organization. The goal was written within their memos. It was to prevent the rise of a Black Messiah who could unify the movement. But they also went beyond politics. They targeted actress Jean Seberg because she supported civil rights groups. They planted false stories in gossip columns saying that her pregnancy was a result of an extramarital affair with a Black Panther. This is not law enforcement. It is a state-sponsored destruction of people's lives. By now, you're probably wondering how nobody stopped this. There were presidents, attorney generals, Congress. How could all of them look the other way? The answer lies in the personal files. J. Edgar Hoover served under 8 presidents. He survived them all because he knew where the bodies were buried. The FBI collected dirt on everyone.
They couldn't exactly. They couldn't fire him because exactly he had everybody damn extorted. They couldn't fire J. Edgar Hoover because he had files on everybody. He had all the girlfriends, all the homosexual deeds, all the sleeping with little kids. So everybody wanted to fire him from the FBI. He was unfireable. That's why he had to die in office. You can never be fired because he outsmarted the cats with those hats too. Yeah, can't come for me. I got all the files, baby.
Eleanor Roosevelt's friendships, members in Congress who had gambling debts and closeted relationships. Hoover kept
closeted relationships,
sensitive files in his personal office, not the central system. He would often let the presidents know that he had this damning information, but he would protect.
That's right. I got you sucking a little. You know I got you. You know you're talking crazy to me. You know I got you sucking a little boy's penis, right? You know I got that right. You know I got that on file, right? You know that, right? Yeah. Okay. That's my act right on you. So understand, I can never be fired. Okay.
Blackmail. You don't fire the man that knows the skeletons in your closet. This allowed the FBI to operate as a state within a state. They manipulated crime statistics to look effective. They ignored organized crime for decades.
Exactly. Pause again. And remember, Remember, J. Edgar Hoover is a mulatto. Mama's black. He held that little secret, makes sure Mississippi they would never know. So he's a mulatto who hates black people because that's why I told you these mulattoes are dangerous. He's a mulatto, but everybody kind of knew it. They tried a lot. They let they let him pass. They knew he wasn't completely white, right? So and also he was what, a flaming homosexual. So not only was he a mulatto, he was a homosexual. Remember that the FBI guy, the assisting director was his girlfriend. Joby was his lover. So, they could have been got rid of him. That wasn't accepted. So, type this up, Joe, real quick. Say, keep that up and go to Google. Say, did J. Edgar Hoover have an affair, a long-lasting affair, with his assistant director of the FBI? You know, he did live on. They used to dress up in women's clothes. Huh, Joby?
Spell his name, tafadhali. J. Huh?
Say J, and then space Edgar, Egdar, and then Hoover, Hoover. FBI director have a long going affair with his assistant of the FBI. They'll say it now because they can't deny it now. Everybody knows it. They used to try to deny it. Everybody knows it. So imagine this guy was a flaming homosexual dressed up in pantyhose and women underwear, Joe, but he was head of the FBI. He had files on everybody, but they couldn't get rid of him. So what's it saying?
Just a minute. It says that the FBI director J. Edgar Hoover had notably long and close relationship with his primary assistant, though they very different functions in his life and career. They're saying we have Ellen Gandhi.
So now whatever was the second in command. So imagine you and Shimani being assistant and co-assistant, and you guys sleeping together. That's what's going on.
God damn.
Yeah. So imagine you guys all sleeping together, right? And you guys are the head of the FBI, Joby. And not only you sleeping together, you're living in the same house, and one's putting on women. One of you guys putting on men clothing.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Existed into the late 1950s because chasing communities was better for funding and headlines. The media Philadelphia burglary broke open that dam. The file stolen gave reporters the leads they needed. NBC reporter Carl Stein sued for the full COINTELPRO documents. By 1975, the pressure was so high, the Senate formed the Church Committee, led by Senator Franklin Church. For the first time, cameras were turned on the spies. The hearings were shocking. The American public watched as intelligence chiefs admitted to opening 200,000 pieces of mail, to sending the letter to Martin Luther King, to keeping a list with millions of names. Senator Church famously warned that the government's capability to monitor citizens was so complete that if they were to ever turn into tyranny, there would be no place to hide. It was the moment that America lost its innocence.
And at that time, remember, the FBI at one time was more powerful than the CIA because it had been around longer and had been more gathering of information than anybody else. So that's what you have happening at that time, right? So now these are rival intelligence organizations within America. CIA doesn't like the FBI, and the FBI never liked the CIA. And so they were always crossing. And so J. Edgar Hoover said, because when they started creating the CIA, J. Edgar Hoover had all files on them too. Said, there'd never be nobody over here more powerful than me. I don't care what kind of goofy intelligence agency they making. We'll have files on their ass too.
Or they were the people who listened to your phone lines. J. Edgar Hoover died in 1972. His secretary, Helen Gandhi, spent weeks destroying his personal files. We'll never know the full extent of what was in them, And while the Treasury Committee brought reforms like the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, tension still remains. COINTELPRO is officially shut down, but the tools did not vanish.
Exactly.
Decades since, we're still seeing similar tactics used against Central American groups in the 1980s, Muslim communities after 9/11, and environmental activists being labeled as eco terrorists. The technology has changed from wiretaps to metadata, from file cabinets to data centers, but the impulse is still the same. Security agencies naturally expand their power unless they are constantly being checked. The Citizens Commission burglars were never caught. The FBI hunted them for 5 years, closing the case in 1976. It wasn't until 2014 that they stepped forward publicly to reveal their identities. They were regular people who realized that sometimes to save the law, you got to break it. The history of the FBI teaches us a difficult lesson. Institutions do not police themselves. The gold standard was a myth that was left to rot. If it wasn't for the burglaries, the whistleblowers, the journalists, we might still be believing in that fairy tale. Now, if you want to read the actual document,
Yeah, so literally a little bit of a history today being on Wednesday. That is how the FBI plot to neutralize black leaders. But as we shift away from that, we're going to talk about gold, which I mentioned. Also, we're going to talk about how actually it has extended gains to a record of $4,870, and that is actually an increase just in 48 hours with $280 plus. And yeah, we're going to talk about that just a little bit and looking at how why the global central banks are secretly replacing the dollars with gold at a record speed, but no one is telling you the main reason. So I'm going to be reading an article which explains that, but let me share this first.
Book maps, and this. All right, so I'm looking at book maps, and there's somebody that's gold at 4,800 with 114 contracts. So right now, gold is at 47.88. It got 12 more points to push up. I'm gonna be watching this, and I want to see what happens when it gets to 4,800. Seeing this right here, if it sells off crazy, yo, that would be insane. That would, yo, this is like that would, yo, that would be a cheat code. I want to see what will happen when it gets to 4,800 though. There's also a bit of good sellers. Where is it? Around, yeah, 47.60. So, which is crazy because I want to show you real quick because I have my indication level mark. Or you can say I have my.
But literally just an update of how at that time, because that was yesterday, it was at 47, and just within a few hours, literally the hours it skyrocketed to 48. But an article it is explaining all this. They're saying in 2022 the central banks bought 1,136 tons of gold, the most since records began, that is in 1950. And it wasn't a
Yeah.
random thing. It started
They give
right
it exactly. They're
Western.
giving it. Well, let me say something before you read it. They're giving the fake paper back to the goopy Africans because they're stupid. Because their dollar system is collapsing, so they need real assets. Real assets is gold, and land and house. Real assets, not fake paper. So they go get a goopy African doesn't know shit. Here go you dumb African. Here go these fake paper notes that are going to collapse, and we need the real wealth. We need the real gold. And so the goopy Africans, well, majority of gold comes from Africa. So they go get a goopy Africans this goopy paper. They go, okay, thank you, white daddy. Thank you for the paper. And so they'll be holding the bag when the dollar's worth nothing. And their gold and their real wealth is now made white people wealthy again while Africans are impoverished. That's what's going on. They know this system is coming to an end. Go ahead, Joby. Go ahead, read it.
Yeah, so it says it started right after the Western nation froze Russia's $3,000 billion in dollar reserves, and that single act taught every government one lesson: if your reserves can be frozen, They're not truly yours.
Yours.
For decades, the US
True.
Treasuries were considered the safest assets on earth, but rising US debt, endless money printing, and weaponized sanctions made many realize they were
See,
holding currencies
see,
not wealth.
Joey. See, just right, Joey. I get to print money from nothing. You don't, and I get the value garbage. You'll take it. You say, well, how much is this worth? It's what I say it is. You say, okay, it's garbage.
It's crazy. Gold, by contrast, needs
It's
no
real.
counterparty. It's pure sovereignty in metal form. And
Hmm.
China didn't shout about it. It quietly added over 300 tons of gold between 2022 and 2024. Unofficially, analysts believe it holds over 4,000 tons, much of it off book. And why? Because gold gives Beijing leverage for a gold-backed yuan trade system.
Look, and
Multi-
imagine that, and there is no gold in China. So where's China getting all this gold from? Oh, the same goopy Africans who always fuck around and don't never do shit right. That's where.
Africa. Turkey, India, and Singapore joined the wave. Turkey all alone added over 150 tons in 2023, while Singapore increased holdings by nearly 70 tons. Even Saudi Arabia, long tied to the petrodollar, began building quiet gold buffers. And it's not just diversification, it's preparation for what? That's the question. When BRICS
Well,
nations
well, 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 they were doing it because if I'm giving you all my oil in dollars and the dollars becoming worthless, so that means my oil, I'm selling you oil for nothing. I'm not making any money because the money's fake. So that's why they're trying to hedge their bets. They say, oh man, we got to get out of this dollar. This dollar's becoming worthless. Go ahead, Joe.
the thing that when BRICS nation met, they didn't just talk about politics. I'm gonna shut your mic. That sound is really, really not nice. I'm reading. When BRICS nation met, they didn't just talk politics. They talked monetary survival. Their strategy was to move reserves from dollar-dominated bonds to physical gold, because in the next crisis, however, whoever holds the gold holds monetary credibility. America's national debt crossed $38 trillion, and its interest payment now exceeds the defense budget. Every time the Fed prints money to stabilize markets, the dollar's real purchasing power erodes. Central banks know this, and they don't bet on emotion, they bet on the math. As Western ETFs sell gold to cover liquidity needs, Eastern central banks are quietly buying it all up. It's all wealth transfer from leverage markets to long-term vaults. The West plays quarterly profits, and the East plays centuries. For 80 years, every nation needed dollar to trade oil, wheat, and metals. Now BRICS nations trade oil in their own currency and store value in gold. The dollar monopoly isn't ending in a crash, it's fading quietly as new systems rise to replace it. According to the World Gold Council, in just the last 30 months, central banks have purchased over 2,300 tons, worth more than $150 billion. And the last time central bank bought at this speed, that is in the late 1960s, right before the US abandoned the gold standard in 1971. When 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 flat trust breaks, whether the inflation sanctions or debt, nations fall back on something ancient. Gold is the final settlement layer of civilization, and every bar stored today is a signal, sorry, that central banks are preparing for a new financial order, one where wealth is measured not in dollars but in ounces. And of course, we've seen also silver skyrocketing super high.
Of course,
And
but
mhm,
but I think Bikini Faso is the only one in Africa has now set up their own gold reserve. Finally, majority of the world gold comes out of Africa, but none of them got gold reserves. He asked why Kenya would send this gold to Britain. I wonder why.
exactly. And they're saying that this means people are grinding more than ever, working longer hours, saving aggressively, consuming endless content, yet more stuck in the same place. The question is why. It's because the rules change and no one explained them. The truth is very simple. Money today doesn't reward effort. It rewards positioning. That's why a few families keep winning across generation while others reset to zero every time pressure rises. You'll find endless content online, opinions, motivation, noise, but almost no one shows you the step by step on how elites think, decide, and act when the chaos hit. I'm not, he says she's not here to scare you, but to tell you, of course, the truth and all that, blah, 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 and all that. But literally, you can see it's crazy because this goes back again to Africa and what we've been talking about, how all of them, there's I think the same, there's a video I bumped into which was quoting Trump the same way you quoted all these elites. It was saying the what was the gangster. It was, I think, I think someone from, I think one of the officials from Canada or someone made a statement saying that Trump is
Yeah.
is the official, is the real gangster of America, like international gangster. Yeah, he called him international gangster. It's crazy, and yeah, they're willing to do anything for them to stay comfortable as the rest of the world suffers.
Stay
And,
wealthy. That's right.
mhm,
As the
and
rest of the world, as the rest of the world is stupid, especially the African.
mhm.
Fuck them. Let them stay stupid. That's what it is. We're going to exploit him. If he's dumb, that's his fault.
But the question is, for how long will they run this scheme? Because we have the BlackRock CEO Larry Fink saying the global elites have lost the public trust. So for how long will we
Of course
have
they have, but it's like, they're not going. And
lies?
he's one of them. He's one of them. Exactly. He's one of them. He just tell you which one. He's one of them. Who you think controls BlackRock? Put him in control of BlackRock. You know the family names, Joby. It ain't his ass, but he is a cat with the hat. He's one of the cats with the hats, working for the other cats with
Exactly.
the hats. So, yeah, of course they
Hmm.
love, because too many people, like you said, it's not enough people waking up, but too many people know, too many other people know the game, Joby. They know what's being played on them.
That is,
And if the African understand, why are you allowing people to buy gold from you, Joby, with useless paper? And then why are you telling the kid? I'm gonna use
a very
Kenya as
good
an example.
question.
Why you use Kenya? I'm gonna use Kenya as an example. Why are you telling Kenyans, hey, we can't control our own gold? Let's send it to Britain. That's them. That's the bootlegs telling they're gonna just sell you, let Britain steal your gold. It don't make any sense. Why would I send my gold to Britain,
Literally,
Joby?
it doesn't make any sense. And again, we go back to power. This is all about, again, power. Africa,
Of
we don't
course.
have any power. Like, we don't have. It's crazy, man, that we call ourselves even countries.
Who says crazy,
Honestly,
man?
yeah, like
It's crazy, man.
it's very cool that we call ourselves even countries and that we have leaders, yet we don't even
Shout
have
out,
power. We
shout,
can't.
shout out to when Africans said that too. But these ain't even exactly. They're not even countries, Joby. It's some made up shit that the Europeans made up during the Berlin Conference. They're not even really countries. You're right,
Mhm.
because they're not
Exactly.
cohesive.
Because if Trump and Israel can just come and claim other lands that don't even belong to them, like, come on, do we
Exactly.
have a country as Africa? We think we're actually safe. If the other global powers are being threatened, who do we think we are? It's super crazy. But let me read a few comments here as we switch a little bit as well. Still talking about the gold and, of course, the rise of, I'd say, also cost of living, because what is
Of
happening,
course.
like the article is saying, you're not being told these major shifts that are happening, especially by the West media. Literally, it's not going to tell you the truth. They're actually lying to you, and that's why I love this video because it's how they're telling people on news how the inflation is actually, it has gone low. You can do this, you can get food at these bucks, and that is chicken and whatever. But this guy was actually on the ground and giving reality of real fine the real cost of everything, the real cost of commodities, and it's not just making any sense how they're lying. But Ricky says there wasn't a cold war. We was chilling with Russia sailor in Poland at clubs in 1980. Mm, that is what's up. And I also see Danny says,
See,
yeah, America.
did you hear Ricky say that? He's chilling in the club with the Russians. Wow, I didn't even know that. Thanks, Rick. I didn't even know that. They ain't chilling in the club with the enemy, Joby. Right. And look at Ricky trying to get some strange ass for a little bit of cash.
also
Go ahead.
see that this is, yeah, America is controlled through various covert organizations.
Of
The
course.
Soviet Union was controlled outright through communists, because the communism just means the small hats directly control your nation. And Ricky had that we saw. We was in North Sea and the Baltic Sea towards Norway, Sweden, and Finland. So all North Lights. It was beautiful. Sun never set in that world. Hey, that's so sad. Love the way Ricky literally, I don't want to say it's brag, but it's kind of brag about his life, straight with
He,
it.
he was in the Navy doing all kind of Navy things out there. Right?
Yeah,
And before the enemies, he's at the club with his enemy, doing some, having some cash, doing some strange for some ass.
crazy. Danny says the CIA was known as the OSS. Okay, didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know
Well,
that.
it really wasn't the OSS. They dissolved the OSS. It did it come out of the OSS, the Office for Strategic Services. Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no, because at that time the OSS was completely controlled by most of the military. The CIA was actually set up by the bankers themselves. They wanted complete control of it. So just like Mossad is set up by the Rothschild, so is the everybody see the same bankers in the beginning of the CIA. So yes, but no, Dan, a little bit deeper than that. Go ahead, Jody.
And John Mosquito Karibu Sana, hope you're doing great today. Says the Rothschild used Allen Dulles when he was ambassador for US in Switzerland, and they used it
Exactly.
to channel money to the Nazis. And I also see Danny also asked that that proves that the Rothschilds were indirectly involved in the formation of
Of
Nazi
course.
Germany, according to
Exactly. It's like
the
the major cats with the now we got a tread light. We're on YouTube. The major cats with the hats sponsored the killing of the other cats with the hats in these concentration camps, so called. But if you research it, it's sketchy, like always. But you got to go with their narrative. If you go with their narrative, they can now lock you. If you don't go with this 6 million killed narrative, you'll get locked up. Now I'm not even saying it's wrong. But I'm gonna say just do your own research. And if you have critical thinking, like Joby said, if you're unaliving people at that rate, right? So you do the numbers. How long would it take to kill 6 million people in a certain amount of time? So you just say, okay, statistically, that's an impossibility. So right there, that doesn't make sense. And then you would say, you would go, because now telling that you would go see the oven. See if you got somebody in the oven and doing cyanide. Cyanide makes certain stains on the walls that were not there. So since they own all the media and all the book companies, they put out a certain narrative. And I will say whether it is or not, I don't know. I don't know. Just do your own research and question everything you've been told. Because everything we've been told as children, the stories, I'll just say whether I know what the stories are all lies. Whether I get the story right or not, I don't know. But I know what I'm being told is a lie. Okay? And you're not allowed to question the lie, because then you're anti something. You're antiseptic. We're gonna use code word. If you say that, you're antiseptic, right? And when they put you back at antiseptic, that's when all your cells get taken down, and because see, when you're over the target, really controls the world. Like I was telling the Earton's guest today, who knows the cats, on all your media, all your shit get taken down, all this. See, when you're over the target, ain't no more conspiracy theories, because unless you're a moron, you say, okay, that's what's happening. Yeah, everybody's getting Kanye West around here. Kanye was a moron. He's a bootlick. He thought he'd open his mouth, try to say something real. When they started taking all his money, he came back on his knees saying, "Please, white cat with the hat, can I suck your penis? Get my money. I'm not a real revolution. I don't want to say I was drunk. I was drunk that day. I had a few fucked up drinks. I don't know. Actually, somebody spiked my drink. Actually, somebody spiked my shit. That wasn't me saying it, Mr. Cat with the hat. Somebody spiked my shit. So, people know. Shout out to that Islam guy telling the truth over there. He said, who runs the Congress? It's the Jays. And they do. It said, that UN shit set up by them, and once they get ready to get rid of it, they'll have America pull out of it. When America pulls out of the UN, it'll die, and then they'll start an equivalent over in Jerusalem. I say, wow, yeah, that would be the plan, because they're the ones created, and they want to put the United States in that shit, that fake ass United Nations. It's the most evilest, wicked organization ever. But like I said, so when you connect the dots, everything we believe is a lie. And just like I said, even death is a lie. Shout out to the CIA now telling what ancient Africans knew thousands, hundreds of thousands years ago. This is an illusion, right? And now admit it. You live in a hologram. That means nothing around you is even real. But you know who said that? And all you Africans call them evil? Your ancestors said that thousands of years ago. That this is a hologram. It does not exist. You're living in a dream, almost a dream world of God. So there's no such thing as death. The body dies, but you as an internal spirit, guess what? You never can die. There's no such thing as death to you ever. You've been given goofy religions, told you're going to die and go to this hell place. How do you burn a spirit? Oh, that's this critical thing. How do you burn a spirit? Since you die, you don't got a full body no more. You're just in soul form. How does that burn? How do you burn something that's not physical? Just critical think that you've been following stupid stuff. Anyway, go ahead, Joe.
All right, so let me share this video as we continue.
Doing some grocery shopping, and I found out that
groceries
the
is crazy.
Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, right now under the Trump administration, Brooke Rollins, says that the average American can currently get a great meal, like to feed themselves on a daily basis, for just $3 a day.
We've run over 1,000 simulations. It can cost around $3 a meal for a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, corn tortilla, and one other thing. And so there is a way to do this that actually will save the average American.
Even in Africa, it wouldn't cost $3. Trust me. Like
consumer money.
You've done that. It's not crazy. See, the truth doesn't matter anymore. It's just crazy lies. Truth doesn't matter no more. Because they're this crazy lie. This crazy. The lies are so extreme. You get one piece of broccoli. You get one piece of broccoli. Where's somebody selling one piece of broccoli? Where's somebody selling one chicken? One. When we're not talking about a whole chicken, you're talking about like a chicken leg. Where's somebody selling you one chicken leg at? This is so absurd and ridiculous. Go ahead, Joe.
I wonder to.
And see if that's really possible under this economy.
No, it's not.
Starting off with the chicken breast, $7.48 for 2 pieces. The budget that this lady was talking about already gone.
Just look exactly, like I said. That's what I just said.
Expensive chicken, guys. This is already off the charts for whatever this lady was talking about.
You know she lied.
Tortillas, $185, the cheapest pack of 24. You guys do the math. The chicken gizzards, $3.59. Also over the budget that Rollins was talking about. See, we got the sirloin, $13.67, $12.57, all that. We also got the broccoli. It is $2.99.
What?
Obviously, all this is without taxes, right?
Yeah, Fruits, and remember, you got to add the taxes. After you get there, you get to the counter, you got to add the taxes. Exactly. That's before you get there to the counter and pay for it, and they add the tax to that shit. So you ain't got the tax even added on it yet. Go ahead, Joe.
Else, 3 limes for $1, 4 for $5. Pears. Look at those prices, guys. Like, I don't know in what world these people live in.
Lies. They live in the world. Exactly. They can just lie. They know they can just lie. The world of lies. They're talking about prices from 30 years ago. What are you talking about? They can talk about prices when I was just get out of college. What are you talking? Get out of here with that craziness.
I'm like, yeah, everything's so cheap. Prices are going down. Thanks, Donald Trump.
Yeah,
we got
crazy
the onions.
lies.
Also, just look at those prices, guys. Like $1.49 a pound. Like, no, things are not cheap. Inflation is rising, right? They don't even account for using your light, your power, right? All the different seasonings, salt, pepper, all that stuff that goes into cooking, right? A pack of rice, $1.29, the cheapest one. I think we can all agree that Rollins is not aware of the reality of the average American in
She's
this country.
aware. She don't
The Trump
care. They're
economy has
aware.
been
They know
inflated.
that. They know they lie. All the economy. It's not the Trump economy. Presidents don't control the economy, moron. The banks do. So yes, he doesn't control anything. There's no Trump economy. There's no Biden economy. That's stuff they tell you. They teach you morons. This craziness. The banks control the economies because they're detached from actual real economy. America doesn't have a real economy no more. It's based on nothing but they keep talking about the stock market, which is not Main Street. It's Wall Street because we don't make anything anymore. So we have a fake economy just like Africa. We don't make any damn thing. So how the hell are we talking about an economy? What's being manufactured in America with bad movies and fucked up music? so
This is true. Trump says is reduced inflation, though. He doesn't believe what you're saying. He says for him, it's done amazing. It's reduced
inflation numbers in history.
The direction
I have them down to a level that they haven't seen in about 9 years.
And Mr. President, help me
you
understand.
crazy? You see how duplicitous and evil and wicked these people. Just say this like we're almost like a banana republic. Just like some shit you hear in Africa. And you just say crazy. Just say crazy shit. Like this some. He's on the verge of saying crazy shit like I'm a 70. Oh Lord, everything in 9 years. What? People being thrown out their house. They can't afford rent. They can't afford cars. What are you talking about? Oh, this some borderline Africa shit here. He's talking. This is a 70. Just complete detached from reality. This is crazy people talk. Go ahead, Joe.
Over the place, and I talk to everyday Americans. They tell me they don't feel it because
they might not, but they're going to now. I've only been here for 11 months, okay? And, the first few months were really rough, if you look at them, because I inherited a mess. And now we have the hottest country in the world. Tony, we have the hottest country in the world, and a year and a half ago, our country was dead. Our country is rocketing right now. We have the hottest country in the world.
Just because he said crazy shit like that, they got the hottest rocketing country in the world. We know the dollar's collapsing. We're the hottest rocketing country in the world. And everybody's trying to get out the dollar and move the gold. You see how crazy this is? This is psychopathic talk. This is Museveni talk here. This is crazy talk. This is what they say in Africa. But shit don't even lie. Just say crazy shit to people. Just any kind of crazy lie. Put it out there. We got the hottest rock in this country. And can't nobody afford to fucking buy fucking chicken. Get out of here. Go ahead. Crazy talk.
How expensive it is to live here in Florida, saying something like my electric bill in December is almost $200 and my water bill is almost $300. I'll always inevitably get the comments from nameless, faceless profiles saying, well, my water bill was only $40 last month.
Yeah, so, damn lie. Where's this at? Where you got a $40 water bill, especially anywhere in Florida, but anywhere in the United States, period. And that's you. The way you living at with a $40, I don't believe that at all. Where are you living at in America with a goddamn $40 water bill? Please, where's this at? I like to know. I want to know where this is at. I don't even be home, right? Water bill be over $200 because remember they always put water and sewage together. I don't even be home and my shit be $200+. But not having no water use at all. I don't be home and my shit every month is $200+. Because somebody don't even use no water but a couple of days a month. So you can tell me, I don't know where you get no damn water bill, no $40 a month. Yeah, you damn sure lying. I don't know where that's at. On the moon? Damn sure in America. Because like I said, and electric bills high, man, shit. Man, I'm telling you, we can't afford nothing. But go ahead, Joe.
The bean soup theory continues. Headline. Not everybody in the state pays the same rates for water. Shocker, am I right? Look, I tell it how it is. Life is too expensive for me here where I live in Florida. Whether it's housing, electric payments, water
That's why they're leaving.
Car insurance, flood insurance, you name it.
Florida's now just as expensive as California now. And because Florida has caught up to California prices. There's no benefit in you moving to Florida now from California. And that's why in a couple years I'm getting the hell out of here too. Go ahead.
different. However, many people's experiences is the same, whether they live in Florida or a different state or even different countries, as you can see from the comments that are mostly positive under most of my videos. But it's really scary seeing the 6th grade literacy rate that I get in some of these troll comments saying, well, this didn't happen to me, so therefore it must not be true. And I feel like we see that more and more throughout different pieces of content throughout the internet, and that's kind of really scary in my opinion.
He says a bunch of stupid people. You saying you're 6th grade, saying you're in elementary school, you're 6th grade literacy rate. There's a bunch of stupid people. I agree, dude. Good.
Starting to think, if it doesn't happen to me, therefore it does not exist. Because the amount of times I've ever changed a troll's mind is this many. I've decided to start focusing on the positive. People who resonate with my videos. People who like what I have to say. Because far more of us are realizing that we are just getting priced out of existence here and that nothing seems to be changing for us. I've said before, I feel like I personally have 3 options with my situation. Change it, leave it, or accept it. And going through all the options, the one that works the best for me is to leave it. That's why my girlfriend and I, we're moving to Europe. Cost of living is going up there too, but you know what? At least we'll have healthcare and pretty damn good food. My name is Zach Abroad. I'm moving to Portugal very soon. If you find that interesting, follow along because
it's been 1 year of the Trump administration and 1 year of tariffs. So what does that mean for you? Well, prices you would think would start rising a lot, but actually inflation has cooled down just.
Trump then, on the eve of the 1 year anniversary of the second term, as prices have gone up. Remember, Trump promised prices down. Down. Trump prices down. Prices are up. And Trump just says, oh, they're down. We fixed all of it. Everything's fixed.
Mr. President, how do you feel about the first year of your second term? Amazing. Tomorrow is the first year. Think of it, 1 year. I don't think there's been a term like it. I don't think any president has had a better first year than we've had.
He's not crazy to sound. He said, I'm the best at first year. It don't make it. This is Africa. This is crazy. We're becoming a banana republic. This is Africa talk.
I was to say this is so Ruto lies. I was to say
Ruto and shit. Exactly. This how you know we're an uncredible country. We have no credibility. This how bad we got. This is like Ruto. This is some African shit. This ain't it. I can't believe how great I've been. I've been the best. I need to get the peace prize. I get the stop the wars. This motherfucker started bombing more people than anybody. Yemen he bombed. Iran he bombed. He just went and bombed Venezuela and talking about a peace prize. What? He's threatening to invade Greenland and take it over. Peace prize. I've been a peace person. It's like, what is the crazy pills? This
only like
absolutely crazy.
Again, we've taken our country from a failure with open borders, no business, everything going badly, terrific inflation, the highest inflation in history, prices that are through the roof. And we brought prices down. We have very little inflation.
You know, it's funny because last week Trump said there is no inflation. Now Trump says there is very little inflation.
We have a great economy, and the prices are coming down still further.
The prices are going up, of course.
I inherited a mess, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
You know, I was thinking about this whole inflation thing, and I know that I've kind of ranted about this so many times, but just for context, you usually want 2.5% inflation. In standard economic thinking, which you can say, well, standard economic thinking is a disaster. But in standard economic thinking, that's kind of where your growth comes from. And the deflation that Trump has promised, meaning prices actually going down in nominal terms, deflation only would typically take place in pretty precarious economic situations, and it can include a deflationary spiral, stagflation, and other scenarios. I would love it, and I would respect it so much if a presidential candidate just said, listen, when prices go down, like actually down, it often is bad in a lot of ways. My goal is to get inflation to the desirable 2 to 3%, and then work on increasing the employment level and getting wages up above and beyond inflation. That's my goal. And then we will all be better off if I did that. I would respect that way more. Now you might say, David, you could never win anything if you say that. You have to promise that prices will actually go down. Well, the counterpoint would be, Most candidates don't promise that because most candidates recognize that that is unlikely to happen. But no, Trump promised something that was unlikely and would really only happen in terrible economic circumstances. And it puts him in the position now of having to lie. We fixed inflation, prices are down, it's all taken care of. And of course, we all know that it isn't true.
So I'm hearing
literally talking about him lying on the worst economic situation. I want to share this video, which is explaining something Peter Schiff had said. This is in 2023. He talked about how the American economy is going to be worse than 2008, literally, which is the main conversation of the day. So let me share this, which is breaking down that, and then we're going to find some videos of him talking about it.
I was warning about the 2008 financial crisis before it happened, which was the case. In fact, I was warning about it very vocally leading up to that crisis. Well, I can assure everybody today that the crisis that's coming is going to be far worse than anything that was experienced in 2008. But it's going to be of a different nature, and there's going to be a different outcome. Of course, the cause is the same. It's the Federal Reserve and monetary policy, and to a lesser but also important extent, government fiscal policy, which is helping to drive the reckless monetary policy. But I think the way it's going to play out in the financial markets is going to be a lot different. I think the important consideration this time around is going to be inflation. And I think inflation is the primary factor that everybody should take into consideration when trying to formulate an investment strategy, especially one that is going to do well in the coming decade. And you have to think of inflation not just as a monetary phenomena and not just as the effect that inflation is going to have on prices, and not just consumer prices, and asset prices. But you also have to think about inflation in its most basic form, which is taxation. Inflation is really a tax. I mean, that's basically what it boils down to. And you have to understand this because governments really have two ways of paying for their expenditures. The most honest way is through current taxation.
Taxes.
Obviously, that can be unpopular for the people who are paying the taxes, right? Nobody likes to send money to the U.S. government. And so when politicians are constantly running for re-election, they don't want to have to tell the voters how much all these government programs cost. Another way the government can do it, which is really the first way, just delayed, is by borrowing money. And I'm talking about borrowing it legitimately from a private lender who is willing to take money and loan it to the U.S. government by buying a U.S. Treasury bond from the government. Now, when governments do this, they're just delaying the taxation into the future because whatever money the government borrows today must be repaid tomorrow.
Exactly.
And where is the government going to get the money to repay bondholders? Well, from the taxpayers of the future.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, the taxpayers of today have to pay the interest on the money that's been borrowed. So in other words, when government pays for its spending programs by borrowing, the taxpayers are actually on the hook for an even greater cost because not only do they pay back the principal, but they have to pay all the interest. It's just like if you go out, if you want to buy a new, let's say, television set, if you just buy it, it's cheaper than using a credit card and then paying your monthly, your minimum payments every month. Because by the time you pay off the television set, maybe you've paid 2 or 3 times the actual cost because of all the interest that you've paid over the years. Well, that's the same thing. When you pay for government programs,
that's why I use my credit cards. I don't never touch no credit cards, guy. I never, in this case of mercy, my kids may be dying or something. I need to give. I never touch my credit cards. If kid, you got any credit cards there? Sure, damn sure don't. None. I don't fuck around with no. I got that from my goofy father. I give him credit as a child. You guys know my father's was a lawyer. You know, say, kid, you know, we got so many people getting all these. They live in credit, think that money's never going to be repaid. Then they got repaid back with all this interest, and they end up filing for bankruptcy. It destroys them. But just learn this, kid. Live on what you make. Don't go on the credit. Don't get all excited. Oh, I can go get this car. I can go get this TV. I can go get this. because you're going to pay 3 and 4 times the worth of it, and all you're doing is accumulating junk. And my dad, if young, you call me Keithy. Keithy, all you're doing is accumulating junk because it's going to devaluate. You're paying more for some shit that's going to devaluate. Why are you paying more for a car? Oh, I got a new car. And as soon as you take it off the lot, it's devaluating. As soon as you get your TV, it devaluates. So these are not real assets. So if you want to use your credit card, make sure if you're going to use it, make sure it's assets, things that's going to gain money. Anything that loses you money or devaluates, don't ever buy it with a credit card. And so that stuck with me as a child. That stuck with me. So I never, I only use credit cards, like I said, in case of an emergency. I don't touch them. Now, even if I'm in an emergency, I'm in a real emergency. My kids better be dying or something. Now, if I'm broke, nah, I don't use it then at all. That ain't an emergency. I'm just broke. everybody be broke. I get money later on. So being broke is not an emergency for me, right? I got some got to be like one of my kids called, Dad, I'm in a bind. I'm about to be put out of my house. I got nothing and I don't got the money. Okay, then I have to do it then. But because if I'm broke, nah, I just be broke. I'm not going into debt for no credit cards. Because everybody's got this credit card debt. Do me a favor. And this week's talking about all this stuff is a bubble. That's why everything's about to collapse. Joey, do this for me real quick. Say, keep that up and go to Google. Say, what is the credit card debt in America? What is the total credit card debt in America? I know it's in the trillions. It's unsustainable. What is it?
The U.S. credit card debt hit a record high of $1.23 trillion by late 2025.
1.23 trillion. Everybody's living with their credit card because that's how you know the economy's fucked up. Because you know Trump is a liar. Because everybody's using their credit cards to survive. Everybody's using their credit cards to buy food, money they have to pay their rent, money that they don't have. So that means they're going to default on these credit cards. It's the highest, that's how you know the economy's bad. Like Joey said, it's the highest it's ever been. That means people don't have any money. They've been living off credit. They've been buying shit off credit. That's how you know you got to destroy the economy. See, this common financial economics you're supposed to know when Trump is saying crazy shit. That means you got the highest credit card debt in history. That means people can't afford to live. They're using, people scared they're using their credit cards with these high-ass interest rates. Let me ask Google, say, what's the normal interest rate on a credit card? I ain't know the normal interest rate anymore. Say, what is the normal interest rate on a credit card? We know most of them are predatory now. Yeah, take your time. Say yes. Ask. Say what is the average? Say what is the average? What is the average? Interest rate on a credit card? Yeah. Say what is the average interest rate on a credit card? What is the average interest rate?
The average interest rate in the U.S. hovers around 22 to 24%.
God damn, I low 22, 23%. God damn, Joe, you broke. And people tell Africa, remember, Africa don't have credit. Africans got to buy their shit with cash. They don't get to buy cars and TVs and things like everybody else on credit. There's no credit in Kenya. There's no credit in Nigeria and Ghana. They got to use cash and they don't get it. They got to pay all of it. They don't get it. All right? God, 24% interest, Joby. God, you know how high that is, Joby?
Mm-hmm.
24% interest rate? God. So if I borrowed $100 from you, Joby, and in a certain amount of time, let's say it took me like 6 months to pay you back, at 24% interest, that means I give you back 100 plus maybe 75 additional dollars. I gotta give you back 175. Yeah, that just, and most people spend more than $100 on a credit card. So that's why this kind of debt is unsustainable. So him talking about the economy is good, right there you just prove that he's lying. We already know he's lying, but right there, when you just showed the credit card debt in America, people living on credit, Joe, don't got no money. So they use the credit cards, now they got to pay. That's about some groceries. Groceries cost me $50. I ain't got that. I had $50 about it. All right, but I use a credit card. Now I owe $110 for the groceries I didn't have no money to buy.
Because it says the average balance per person is $6,500.
Yeah, 6,000 exactly. So the average goddamn debt is $6,000 with a 24%. So Joey, so say how much is 6,000? Say how much is 24% interest on $6,000, Joe? What is that? Let's Google that.
24% interest.
Oh, 24. What is 24% interest on $6,000?
A minute. Okay. Says 24% interest of 6,500 is 1,560 per $1,560 per year, calculated
per year. Okay, go ahead.
Calculated by multiplying the principal by the interest rate, which is common for annual rates like APR on loans and credit or credit cards.
So actually they owe 7,000 something. So they owe an extra 1,000 something, and every year they'll pay it back. It goes to another $1,000. That's the interest accumulating, Joe. So they owe $6,000. They got 24% interest on that money. So you just said that's what, an extra 1,000? How much?
1,500.
So they owe $8,000, Joby.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
And every year they don't pay it. It goes up again. So next year they owe $9,500. Then $10,000. Then $11,000.
America is a scam. Like, please. You're good. You're born there. You make it there. If I come there, I'm living in the streets. Like, goddamn.
Time you repay the debt, the government programs were a lot more expensive than if you had just paid for them with current taxation. See, now the government has to resort to a new method of finance because it is now impossible for the government to borrow money from private sources because they can't afford to pay a high enough interest rate to private lenders to make this a viable transaction. And that is because of the enormity of the debt that we currently have. Right? The U.S. government has borrowed so much money to try to delay the day of reckoning for so long and kick the can down the road as we've gone deeper and deeper into debt. Now that we have a national debt that's approaching $30 trillion, there is no way.
He says it's 30 trillion. Now remember, we 8 trillion. So this video is old. This video is like 5, 6, 7 years. We passed 30. He said approaching 30 trillion. We're now at $38 trillion in debt. We're 8 trillion from the time he's talking about we was getting to 30. I don't know. I guess we're about 28 or 29 back then. So we're over $10 trillion even more than when Peter Schiff was saying this, whatever this year was. We're even worse off than what he was saying then. Go ahead, Joe.
Government can finance that. I mean, repaying the debt is completely impossible. I mean, not with money that has any real purchasing power. But at this point, the principle of the debt is just so enormous that even if the government was forced to pay a normal rate of interest, it cannot actually make those payments.
Nope.
Want to trade and invest in global markets with ease? Build your portfolio with a one-stop investment app. Moomoo offers access to stocks, ETFs, options, and more. Click the link.
What works is the government issues debt, and then it's the Federal Reserve that buys that debt. But when the Federal Reserve buys the debt, it has to expand the money supply to do it. See, when the U.S. government borrows from a private lender, it's taking money from one person and loaning it to another. It doesn't increase the money supply. And the person who is loaning the money to the government can't also spend that money because they've loaned it to the government. And now the government gives it to somebody else to spend. But when the Federal Reserve monetizes that debt and prints new money, then it's all new spending in the economy because the government hasn't taken money away from anybody, but it's giving new money to other people. And another way to think about it is when the government taxes you to pay for its spending, it literally takes your money, right? Your money just comes right out of your paycheck. If it's an income tax, the government takes your money and then they give that money to somebody else. And now somebody else spends the money that you earned. You can't spend it because the government took it and gave it to somebody else. So your standard of living, your purchasing power is diminished because you have less money to spend. But when the government doesn't raise your taxes, if it just prints money and then gives it to that same individual to spend, your purchasing power, at least in dollar terms, hasn't been diminished. But now you have another guy or gal who is given all this cash that can now go out and spend it. And so what happens is that person competes with you to buy stuff and prices are bid higher. And so the result of that type of taxation is that prices go up. Everything becomes more expensive. So instead of the government taking your money, the government takes the purchasing power of your money. And that's a tax. And, you know, if you look at what's happening now, especially since the beginning of the pandemic, government debt and money printing is off the charts. I mean, we've never experienced anything like this. In fact, I think about half of the money that the government is now spending is being printed by the Federal Reserve. So it's not really borrow and spend anymore. It's print and spend. And right now, nobody seems to think that this is a problem. People seem to think that we've stumbled on the equivalent of a monetary fountain of youth. People like to call it modern monetary theory, which is we can have whatever we want as long as government prints the money to pay for it, that there's no limit, that government is free as long as they print money. Now, of course, why didn't we realize this in the past? I mean, why have we been paying taxes all these years if all we had to do is print money? After all, the printing press has been around for hundreds of years. And so if we could have whatever we want by the magic of government printing money, currency, what's the point of all of us having to pay taxes? The reality is this is a fantasy that is going to end in disaster. So there's a big difference between earning money and just having the government print it. See, when people are productive, when they have a job and they go to work and their labor is used to increase the supply of goods or services available to the public, right? You have a job.
Talking about manufacturing something, making something. That brings, like I said, that's a real economy when you add value to your fake money. If you at least got a goddamn manufacturing base that you're making some shit, because it adds value to worthless paper. When you don't make shit, not like Africa, America, your goddamn currency is supposed to be absolute garbage. But Africa got resources on the back there.
A good that people want or need, or you're helping to provide a service that people need. And in exchange for that help, you earn money, and now you can use that money to help buy the goods and services that you yourself help to produce. And the more productive you are, well, the more you earn, and therefore the greater share of what society produces, you are able to enjoy yourself. But when the government just prints money and gives it to you, when you have all these unemployed people who are sitting at home just getting a check from the government, they produce nothing. They added no goods or services to the economy, yet they can consume goods and services in the same proportions as if somebody had actually done work and actually been a productive member of society. So what does this do? All this does is drive up prices, because if your work adds to the goods and services, and now you're consuming the goods and services you helped create, that's fine. But if now you start consuming goods and services, yet you didn't help create any of those goods and services, you just have more money chasing a diminished supply of goods and services, and prices are going to go up. And they're going to go up like never before. And the irony of all of this is that the Federal Reserve has been promising Americans more inflation. Well, that's one promise that they're going to deliver on. In fact, they're going to deliver on it beyond their wildest expectations. And contrary to what everybody is saying, inflation is not a good thing. Inflation is not desirable. Higher inflation is not making progress. What people want is a lower cost of living. When prices go down, that's progress. And that's capitalism. That's how capitalism works. When you have real capitalism, businesses become more productive. They become more efficient. They develop economies of scale. And as they do that, the cost of...
You have to see what Peter Schiff just said about the U.S. banking system, because he claims that the U.S. banking system is on the verge of a much bigger collapse than 2008. Banks own long-term paper at extremely low interest rates. They can't compete with short-term treasuries. Mass withdrawals from depositors, higher yields, will result in a wave of bank failures. Now, this is 100% correct, but let me explain if you don't understand what he's saying. Whenever Peter Schiff talks about long-term paper, he's referring to long-term treasury bonds, as well as any other long-term debt instrument. This could be a 10-year U.S. Treasury, a 20-year U.S. Treasury, a 30-year U.S. Treasury bond, bonds that mature or pay out after 10, 20, 30 years, or it could be a car note or a mortgage that they won't see the full value of until 7, 10, 15, 30 years. Essentially, banks locked in these assets at incredibly low interest rate. And now that interest rates have risen, bond yields are far higher. So if you're somebody who's depositing money in a bank and you see the bank is only offering you X amount, which has to be less than the interest rate they have locked in on their assets, which is going to be less than the current treasury yield, you're going to pull your money out of the bank and you're going to invest it in treasury because you're going to get a higher rate of return, a significantly higher rate. And the reason why the banks can't offer a higher rate is because they've locked in this paper. And as yields go up, the price of the bond actually goes down. So whenever they bought bonds at 2%, 3% long-term, 10, 20, 30 years, that bond is much more expensive because the yield is lower. They're inversely correlated. But whenever the interest rate or the yield rises, now the US Treasury is at 5.5, the price of that Treasury actually goes down. So now if they were to sell these Treasuries into the current market, they would take gigantic loss. And that's what they'll have to do in order to come up with liquidity if enough people withdraw money. That's how a bank run works. And at this point, this shit is almost inevitable. We saw 4 in March, and almost all banks in America are absolutely abusing the Fed repo window because they need paper every single day. They need more and more and more because withdrawals are at an all-time high. So it's not really a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
To an even greater degree.
And that's where they're trying to put limits on how much money you can take from the bank. That's all happening. I mean, how much money can you take out the bank? It's your money, but they can't allow you to take as much money as you want out the bank. That happens, especially in third world countries. They got to really, I bet in some countries, hey, you only get $100. That's it. What? A day? That's right. That's it. That's all you can take because their bank system is so bad, you know. But you know, I've come across people ask you, "What you gonna do with it?" What do you mean? What I'm gonna do with it? It's my money. So I've had that. Let me know if you guys had that happen yet at one of your banks yet, where you're now only been allowed to take out so much money at a time. And so that's why I had to start moving everything to Africa so I can pay people, because I knew this was happening. I said, hey, they're gonna stop people from allowing you to send money because they're gonna use your money to shore up their bottom line. And it's gonna be a bail-in, not a bailout. The American people are not gonna accept another bailout. So they're going to keep your money. Remember, all the money you put in the bank, you don't own. The bank says they own it. And so when the bank does collapse, you'll never get your money back. That's called a bail-in instead of a bailout. So, you know, and you won't be safe because what? They control all the politicians. No one's going to vote to give your money back. They're going to steal it. They're going to do a bail-in. So makes you with a decent bank. I think give it a credit union. Don't be part of the big banks. Don't be part of Chase Manhattan and Wells Fargo and all this. I try to tell my goofy son that was years ago. I say, hey man, you know, but your kids don't want to listen. Your kids, you know, when they start growing, they don't want to listen to their parents. They despise listening to their parents, right? So I told one of my sons, hey, he's talking about, hey, I think about getting an account at Wells Fargo. I said, son, don't put your money at Wells Fargo. You got banking problems right now. They're probably gonna start stealing your money. Dad, you and all these conspiracy theories. Shit. All right, motherfucker, you ain't gotta listen to me. Don't mind me. It's about, he was young. He had about 20, about 8 years ago. So he come back. He wouldn't tell me, but he wouldn't take it all back. He wouldn't tell me. I said, man, what's wrong with you? Man, nothing. Yeah. What's wrong with you? Wells Fargo fucking with my money. I can't get my money out the bank. I said, I ain't got no money to give your ass either. I told your stupid ass, don't be fucking with no Wells Fargo. As you guys know, Wells Fargo was the main people that been stealing people's money from their bank accounts, right? I told your stupid ass, don't put no money. Oh man, Wells Fargo had better interest and they had all the bells and whistles. You know you're young, you stupid. You don't want to listen to your parents. You refuse. This bank got all the bells and whistles. I get me a credit card. No. And first thing black kids want to get a credit card. I said, don't mess with no credit cards, boy. But, they're 18. You can't tell them what to do no more. They want to get a credit card with all the bells and whistles and had a fancy name on it. Look at my name on here. Andre Newsom credit card. I said, and when you get fucked up, don't come ask me for no money either. Okay? Because you're immature and you're stupid. So when you start buying dumb shit, you start going, oh, I need these jeans. Oh, look at these shoes. Put it on my credit card. Oh, look at this shirt. Put it on my credit card. And then all of a sudden, you're $1,000 in debt. And now the juice, as they say, and as they say, a loan shark, the juice is now turned, like Joey said, the juice is now turned on your stupid ass. 24% interest is now turned on. Now you got the juice, nigga. Okay? Now you're dealing with the juice. 24% interest every month. You don't pay these people because you got your new shoes and your hat and your goofy coat. Look at me on credit. Go, Joey. Go, Joey.
Very quickly as we continue, I see Baron Scott, Karibu Sana. Ricky saying, I don't eat any chicken from these stores. Mine come from down south of farms by overnight UPS meats in stores.
Wow! Look at this special Negro. He got what? This Negro's getting imported chicken from the south. Look at this special ass Negro. Hey, Ricky, people don't got it like it. We can't import our birds the way you do from down south. And they'll go to the grocery. We're not as fancy as you. Wow. Ricky's getting imported birds from Alabama. But it's no good ass. We can't import no birds. We're not living large like you, Vic. What?
I've always suspected that that's purposely overcharge people of color.
Of course.
Some of these bills be outrageous. Says
outrageous.
Good luck with moving to Europe. Same thing over here.
Europe is expensive. Yeah, exactly. Europe is expensive. Exactly. I always tell these goofy Africans, you just leave. Try to build Africa, morons. Jesus Christ. You understand these bills? These bills are outrageous, right? In Europe, England's more expensive than America is. I don't know how you guys survive it. And even in England, hey, tell me this, General. Can you imagine, guys? We don't got this in America. Man, General, how much is your TV tax, man? If you guys don't know, in England, they got to pay a tax to turn on the TV. They got to pay a tax to watch TV, man. General, see, Joey's not like this. That's right, Joe. You go to England, you get ready to pay your TV tax, Joe. Hey, Jim Mosquito. My person said, what? Jim Mosquito, how much is your TV tax? Let us know, brother. How much? These motherfuckers got to pay a tax to watch TV. I was like, what? Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
That's crazy.
See? Welcome to Europe. Welcome to Europe, Joby.
Nah, I'm in Kenya. I'm good. That's all. I'm not paying for no TV for me. I'm not even switching back to I'd rather not have a TV, listen to a radio, be analog. I'm not paying for no TV. Let them dare introduce that shit to Africa. They'll be
It may be coming, Joey. I'm like, I'm gonna ask you, Mosquito. Tell us, how much is your TV tax, brother? How much is your TV tax? Is it paid by monthly? Or you guys pay it annually? You guys pay it once a month? You guys pay it yearly, annually? So I don't know. I went over there and said TV tax. Somebody smoking weed around here? Tax to watch TV? Man, somebody tripping. Go ahead, Joey.
John Mosquito says Piers Morgan suggested that all European countries come together to take America because Trump is out of control. And also says that the animal DNA has completely taken over Trump. Jason Karibu, John Street says my parents always told me to stay away from credit cards when I started college. And Jiba
Me
says
too.
I don't use it too. Great advice. And John Street says my credit be excellent, but I still don't want no credit card. I'm good. Goddamn.
All right, Joe. The credit cards fuck you up, Joey.
Ricky says I have Chase and Capital One in.
Wow.
It's paid off since you don't come on weekend. Goddamn.
He said what? He said stay out. What now? What he say? Oh, this don't come on the weekend. Okay, you wouldn't donate anyway. You no good Indian nigga. This don't come on the weekend. I got you. I'll be on this weekend though. You no good bastard. You don't donate no more anyway. You goddamn Indian. I love Ricky ass. No good damn Indian you and your fancy imported southern chickens. Go ahead, Joe.
Jibba says a friend's daughter was paying 34% for furniture. Dang.
Whoa! Hey, what was that? One of them errands? 34%. See, that's what they do to black people. That's 34% interest. That is outrageous. That means you're gonna pay when you get to paying that furniture, you're gonna pay 2 or 3 times what it was worth. And by the time you finish paying it, it's gonna be all raggedy and fucked up. It's gonna be all used up.
Crazy. And also John says, and the APR is always higher for black people too. Jiba says people are using buy now, pay later, and lay away for groceries at growing rates. And also says compounded monthly on the base plus the accrued, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the accrued interest per month. Two, don't forget that part. And unfillable hole. Jason says I knew many folks that was dying. They maxed out all their credit cards and they told their siblings don't pay them at all. Damn. And also says my mother maxed out one credit card, 5,000, and I didn't pay nothing, sent death certificate, and that was it. Okay. Keisha says the government takes your money and give it to Israel. Of course they do. All for war. Jason says exactly, screw this collapsing system. Israel has been leeching off US. That is Keisha's, of course. Jason says I paid my Chase credit off and haven't used it in 7 years. They send me a new one. Wow, okay. Jiba says I bought some Long Johns and was shocked they were made in the USA. Kaja's adding that the US steals other countries' resources to support Israel and 1% Zionists. Of course, that is so true. Adding that one, and yet I'm yet to see the other YouTubers speak the truth about the US government. That is Kaja's as well. And John Mosquito. Jiba says scarcity is growing, scarcity of goods. John Mosquito says, who said inflation was a good thing? Trump said it reduced inflation. John Mosquito, come on. Keisha says, at the same time, the U.S. government officials be stealing money. Steve Nanchint was stealing money, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Marchint, yeah, and also saying that the U.S. was printing money and giving it to illegal immigrants and telling black people that they couldn't pay reparations. And Jiba says gotta call the bank prior if withdrawing money than a certain amount to make sure they have it on hand.
Yep.
And,
exactly right, Jiba. Go ahead.
Jibba says financial ombudsman won't be able to help you either. What is ombudsman? What's that? John Mosquito, ombudsman. I also see Jibba says I need that credit card to score those 27 rims for the Hellcat. And John Mosquito says a standard UK TV license costs 174 euros per year for color. What? For color?
What? They got different for black and white and color? Who the fuck has got a black and white TV? Shit.
Wow.
So So euros, so that's about $200 a year to watch TV.
Wow, this is crazy.
That's right. You get ready to pay it too, Joby.
And with the cheaper, you see, with the cheaper, which is 58 euros, 50 cents option for black and white TVs. God damn, that is still very expensive.
Nobody's got no more black and white. I ain't seen the black. I know you can even buy a black and white TV yet. I ain't seen a black and white TV like in 30 years. It's a black and white TV. I ain't seen a black. I ain't seen a black as Africa. I like to see it just to see it. I ain't seen a black and white TV at least 30 years. At least 30 years. It might be longer than that. I think it might be 30 years ago. I might have seen it. And that was, and at that time, I was over my grandmother's house or some shit. Wasn't some shit I ever owned. But that's like $200 to watch TV. Man, you better be getting high as shit watching TV over there. So.
Crazy. And Jabba say, of course, laughing at the black and white TV. It's crazy. A lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, you guys still in the chat room. Be honest. You know that. When's the last time? Be honest. Don't say no other day. Be honest. When's the last time you seen a black and white TV? Be honest.
Me?
No. I know you. Yours would be like yesterday or some crazy shit.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
I'm talking about in the chat room. When's the last time you see? I'm talking about. I hate to say, I'm talking about first world people. We had a black and white TV when I was like 9 years old. That ain't never 10 years ago. What are you talking about? So you guys let me know in the chat room. When's the last time? Be honest. You seen a black and white TV? And I think it's got to be 30 years ago. I seen one old one at my grandmother's house. And like, Grandma, what's the? It wasn't the small one with the rabbit ears. She had in the kitchen. Like, Grandma, what's this? But you know, that's a TV I use when I'm cooking stuff. I said, damn, this bitch is black and white. Wow, he said black and white. Boy, you know, black and white TVs, the smaller one. I said, damn, but I ain't seen one in a long time, Grandma. Shit. I'm just asking, shit. You guys tell me, when's the last time, honestly, you seen a black and white TV? Inquiry minds would like to know. Because I ain't seen no black and white TV at least 30 years. At least. I know Joey said me. Joey said I seen one 5 days ago. Oh, damn.
Crazy, man. Jason says I seen all black white and black and white TV inside a walk-in family vault designed as a kitchen for gypsy women that passed in Inglewood Cemetery. That is from Jason.
That's you. Okay, that's going to. That's good. That's you going to a vintage store. That don't cost. That don't count, Jason. I'm talking about when the last time you seen a black and white TV. Somebody. I mean, I say somebody doing a vintage. Somebody selling vintage stuff, old shit. You walking past. I'm talking about in your life. I mean, like in somebody's house. When's the last time you guys seen some black and white TV? Not in some damn somebody selling old vintage shit. I'm talking about actually seeing like somebody using one. Where have you seen somebody using a black and white TV in their house? That's what I'm asking. Not going past some vintage, somebody selling old shit.
But yeah, as we wait for people to respond, literally,
yeah.
As we continue or get closer to winding up, I'm gonna share this video you had shared with me literally on TikTok earlier. This is about the rise of clones, just to share a little bit of knowledge on that.
Okay, what's this about? Okay, now I'll share this with you. See what it is. I don't know. See what it is.
The rise of clones. You shared it with me on TikTok.
Oh, okay. Oh, clones. You're talking about clones. I thought you said clothes. I wasn't seeing about no. Oh, clones. I wasn't seeing about no clothes.
Yeah.
So there's this book out called The Rise of the Clones, the Cabbage Patch Babies.
Now pause this. Now there's a history. Everything's a lie because we don't know where white people come from. And remember, if you guys don't remember, back in the 1800s, you had a lot of white babies that were on orphan trains. And remember, in the 80s, we had something called back. You guys remember we had the Cabbage Patch dolls. We didn't know there was something really real behind that. They were just cute commercials. Everybody wanted a Cabbage Patch doll. Back when you was a kid, that's a Cabbage Patch doll. Not knowing that came from literally, well, these white kids just showed up out of nowhere in the 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s. Where these white babies just come from? Oh, these Cabbage Patch kids. Now go ahead, Joby.
The American Europeans, saying that most of Europeans in America are descendants of the orphan trained children that came in about the late 1800s, early 1900s.
I'm about to say exactly. So these are saying these are the NPCs, guys, non-player characters. They have no soul. These are just put here. These are all the white people around you. Now the Moors are trying to put melanin into, right? It just somebody. I'm telling you, the demiurge creating these people from nothing, and so they're just soulless beings, just here, just being created in some kind of fucking crazy lab, some crazy shit. But we know the orphan trains existed. That's real. So where did all these babies come from? Who babies are these babies? All these white babies that came in by the thousands, 100 years ago. Where these white babies come from? As they called them cabbage, so they were grown in a cabbage patch. Right? Because these babies came from a cabbage patch or some shit. Go ahead, Joe.
All over America to repopulate the empire of the children of the sun. And they were brought in from different parts of wherever they could find the European people, allowing them to come in and repopulate the empire of the children of the sun, a Maruku Tamari. And this was about reprogramming them.
They can see this is when they go to crazy talk with the Tamarian, repopulate the children. Don't mix me up with all this crazy shit he's saying. Okay, I want to know where these kids came from. All that goopy Tamarian and this is the empire of the sun, all that crazy talk. I just wonder where these kids come from. That's what I'm asking. Not all that other crazy shit he's saying. Go ahead, Joe.
Psychologically, teaching them a false history, a false narrative that they were white supremacists, that they were white people, and that they came from a glorious white history, which didn't exist. But this is where the reprogramming of Europeans came in, and why modern Europeans believe the false narrative of history, the Rothschild Rockefeller educational institution and public schools train their ancestors and their descendants to believe so that they could be the new white people. The white people you see in modern times that are supremacists, that think they're Nazis, that represent the swastika, not knowing what that means, that believe in the KKK, all these white people are descendants of the Cabbage Patch children. And they, even in the 80s, came out with a show called The Cabbage Patch Kids and had them glorifying their ancestors unaware.
The theory that there's so many clones coming into Europe, right? That would mean there's even potentially clones in this room right now. There's so many. 80% of the Caucasian population. 80% of the Caucasian population are clones. Racist. So, it's not about racism. It's nothing to do with race. Is there any science? Is there any science that you could have a clone in your life that you're in love with a clone? Like, I don't know, people say that they don't think, they don't have the internal dialogue. There's no you can That's exactly what I was about to say. So Dolores Cannon did the work on this. So Benjamin Franklin also wrote about this, saying that there was a dire need to fill America with Caucasian people. So for whatever reason, they decided to do that. Yeah, they say that there is no inner dialogue, and they called it whitewashing. But Dolores Cannon believed that 80% of the population that look like me can't trace their family tree back past really the 1800s with any accuracy, and we refer to them today as NPCs. She said they were soulless. I don't think anything living is soulless. I think we all have a connection, but it was called whitewashing, for want of a better expression, and it was to make out, and they did this at the World's Fairs and Expositions. They would have on display people from indigenous tribes, and they would bring children from Africa, put them on display, and they were labelled as primitive and savage. Wow. And this was specifically to dumb down and remove history, and this is connected to the Moors. the Moors from Africa who built some of the most beautiful architecture in the world. They wanted everyone to consider them as primitive. And Tartaria was removed for a similar reason, so we would consider Moscow, Russia, to be behind, a little bit backward, and that was another part of it. So, that's what happened. And what I'd suggest people do is watch the second film that Alice Guy produced, which is on YouTube. It's called Midwife to the Upper Classes, and you'll see an example there of where the middle class couple come to buy a baby.
But Israel cannot.
Yeah, I don't know if you have anything you want to
Yeah, we got about another 15 minutes or so. So I want to talk about my Trevor took on the Somalis dirt bags. That's funny. These people come here and from a fucked up country. They don't have any money, and next you know they're driving Mercedes Benzes with no job. And this Ilhan Omar person is now supposed to worth $30 million without no job.
How about the new thing in Minnesota with the Somalians? They sold, now it came out, the great U.S. attorney up there, they came out, think of this, $9 billion, and they think that's just the beginning. They stole, think of it, in their country.
Today we woke up to literally almost 20 teenagers, not really teenagers, but not really teenagers, like over 20 boys who are literally past 18. They've been doing content. They're Somalians, all of them. They've been doing content which has been for the longest time, people have been calling out the government to arrest them, but they've been delaying. And today we woke up to them being arrested, and that was something very amazing. Personally, I said they need to be taken back to their country. Trump said they barely have a country. So they've been harassing women. Every time a woman passes, let's say I'm just minding my business, they come touch your boobs or your ass. And when you try to confront them, they beat you. They beat you, literally. It's like you're not just supposed to be allowing that to happen.
Time you wasn't allowed that behavior in Kenya. It's about time. Send their ass back to Somalia.
Exactly.
They live on nothing. They have nothing. They come here and they steal $9 billion. Are we stupid? I mean, how do we allow that to happen? But think of that. In Minnesota, this beautiful place, once beautiful, I don't call it beautiful. You got a governor who's a stupid person and a corrupt. He's corrupt and stupid. But he allowed this to go on. He allowed this to go on. Everybody knew what was going on. But what nobody knew is over $9 billion. And the people of Minnesota are not happy. How about?
I was warning about the 2008 financial crisis.
Okay, yeah. So that's the video. I don't think it's enough.
They don't have a job. These people, they come here from Somalia without no money and no jobs, and now they drive Mercedes Benz. How did that happen? But these Somalis talking shit to black Americans and Kenyans. Oh, we're great. We're this. We know you're not, because your country's fucked up. You're broke. You've been stealing. I feel like you're still here, but now you're getting you up out the paint. I'm with it. Go back to Somalia, moron.
Talks about the fact that $19 billion at a minimum is missing in Minnesota, given to a large degree by Somalians.
I've been building all kind of shit in Kenya.
Somalians, can you imagine? And they don't do it. A lot of very low IQ people. Other people work it out, and they get them money, and they go out and buy Mercedes Benzes, and they come from here. They have no money.
Yeah, no money.
They never had money. They never had a life. They never had a government. They never had a country, because there's basically no country. Somalia is not even a country. They don't have anything that resembles a country. And if it is a country, it's considered just about the worst in the world. They come here and they become.
And they try to brag. That's what kills you, kid. They try to brag about their fucked up culture and country. Their country's all fucked up and impoverished. By the way, they stole money. They were building shit in Kenya with. They didn't take it back to Somalia. They building shit in Kenya with that fucking money they were stealing.
Yeah.
But equally importantly, we're cracking down on more than $19 billion in fraud that was stolen by Somalian bandits. Can you believe that Somalian, they turned out to be higher IQ than we thought. I always say these are low IQ people. How did they go into Minnesota and steal all that money? And we have, they're pirates. They're good pirates, right? But we shoot them out of the water just like we shoot the drug boats out. They're not pirating too many boats lately, do you notice? When they go out into those boats, they want to take over $1.5 billion tanker loaded up with oil. And they say, we're going to blow up your boat. They have powerful weapons. You hit the side of the boat, you blow the whole thing up. The insurance companies are petrified. So they say, just give them the boat. We'll give them money instead. And I don't do that. We blow them right the hell out of the water. We see them going out, we blow them out of the water. We don't have any pirates so much anymore. We do, they won't be there long. Nobody talks about the fact that $19 billion at a minimum is missing in Minnesota, given to a large degree by Somalians. They've taken it. Somalians, can you imagine? And they don't do it. A lot of very low IQ people, they don't do it. Other people work it out.
Those are low IQ people.
And they get them money and they go out and buy Mercedes-Benzes. And they come from here, they have no money. They never had money. They never had a life. They never had a government. They never had a country. Because there's basically no country. Somalia is not even a country. They don't have anything that resembles a country.
Yeah, Somalia
and if it is a
stinks.
country, it's considered just about the worst in the world. They come here and they become rich and they don't have a job. I was told that Ilhan Omar is worth $30 million. She never had a job.
You don't have a job.
She's a crooked congressman. But equally importantly, we're cracking down on more than $19 billion in fraud that was stolen by Somalian bandits. Can you believe that Somalian, they turned out to be higher IQ than we thought. I always say these are low IQ people. How did they go into Minnesota and steal all that money?
They're low IQ people.
We have, they're pirates. They're good pirates, right? But we shoot them out of the water just like we...
You said Trump has been just overtly racist to him, and I love it. You no good motherfuckers getting that work. I love it. And these are low IQ bandits.
Shoot the drug boats out. They're not pirating too many boats lately, do you notice? When they go out into those boats, they want to take over $1.5 billion tanker loaded up with oil. And they say, we're going to blow up your boat. They have powerful weapons. You hit the side of the boat, you blow the whole thing up. The insurance companies are petrified. So they say, just give them the boat. We'll give them money instead. And I don't do that. We blow them right the hell out of the water. We see them going out, we blow them out of the water. We don't have any pirates so much anymore.
And this what we told President. This what we told you goopy Somalians about America. You guys don't understand whites. You like sucking white daddy's dick in your mouth, the back of your raggedy ass throat. We tried to tell you they were going to use you until they didn't need you no more. They're going to throw you in the damn trash like an old piece of dirty rag that you wipe your fucking dirty feet with. But you being stupid, you don't understand that. So now a lot of you Africans, you understand that they don't like you motherfuckers. But you think when you come over here and they just let you set you over black people here, because that's them kicking us in the mouth. They give you some fuel, they give you welfare, you get to talk all your fuck shit that you was talking for the last 25 years because we let your ass over here. But we knew that your time was coming. You gonna get that punch in your motherfucking face. We knew it was coming. Because eventually, as they use you, they won't get tired of looking at your raggedy ass. I said, okay, we use them enough. Let's get these fake ass other black people out of here. I'm tired of looking at these motherfuckers. So you thought you were gonna team up with white power and white supremacy, and there's no teaming. Even though you think you're not African, they see you as a dirty nigga. You got animal fur hair. Okay, we get that. You got the fur. Cool for you. But that wasn't gonna make no difference. Your proximity to whiteness was not gonna be allowed. So now they're breaking your back, and you got no allies, right? You got black people say, yeah. The Kenyans are telling you get out of Kenya. You got the South Africans saying, what the hell you doing down here to get your ass out of South Africa? And black Americans are telling you, hey, get your shit. As black people, get your shit. I'm gonna talk like my grandmother. Get your shit Get all your shit. Get your shit. Don't forget shit. Don't you forget a goddamn thing. Because you won't be bringing your punk ass back here. Get all your shit. Those are you forgot. That's so you can come back. Get your shit and get the fuck out of here. And go back to your great culture in your country that you've been talking that fuck shit about. We built this country so you can have your fuck ass here. You built nothing. You came in talking your shit. That's the country that you enjoyed and where you can steal from. We built this. You built Somalia, which you don't want to go back to. But we let you run your raggedy ass mouth. And now, you didn't want to come an ally, be a good citizen, come to somebody's house and be respectful. You come to somebody's house because that's your dirtbag culture you're talking about. Your dirtbag culture that you always at each other. You got different clans, all these tribes, and you Arab motherfucker call yourself clans, not tribes. You got different, same thing as a tribe, you got different clans. So you see this as a different clan and all that goofy shit. Okay, cool, we got you. But now we say it's time for you to go. And you guys got to March too. You already gave your date. You got 90 days to get out of town. That's like the old West. I'm giving you 90 days to get out of town, Joby. Don't let me come back and find your ass here. I go wild West. You got 90 days to get your ass out of here.
So
Go ahead, Joby.
we have the Black Panthers. Shout out to John for highlighting that. We have the new Black Panthers who are also demonstrating on behalf of Somalians. So let me share this very quickly.
That's why they're fake. They got nothing to do with us. It's fake new Black Panther. They got to do with the original Black Panther. It's all. This is Joey. This is what you just did. This is COINTELPRO. There ain't nobody black in that fake ass new Black Panther shit. That's a fake government organization. Ain't nobody out there fight for no damn Somalians. Go ahead.
My check. The Black Panthers fight for black people's freedom, not for illegal aliens who routinely murder African American women, like her, or maybe her. What about them?
There's an African that don't know the fuck you're talking about. Shut up, talking about our culture. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut the fuck up. This is a phony group, dude. And why would they be fighting for you when you've not reciprocated shit? You've been disrespectful. As Black American, our culture, it's time for you to get that work. If you knew our culture, you know we believe in revenge. Time for you to get this work, nigga. That's what we believe in. You about time to get this work. They're out there fighting for black people. No, that's not us. That's why people clown. People say, who are these new Black Panther niggas? Who's this fake group? That's not us, dude. As you know, that ain't us fighting for you. Go ahead, Joker.
If Tupac was alive today, he would have been disgusted by these imposters carrying water for the white supremacy. We have a grown man threatening to murder ICE agent who risking his life to protect our communities from people like this, that Joe Biden allowed into this country in the first place. It's funny how they're suddenly defending the Somalis immigrant who say this to Americans and call black people a bunch of slaves.
And you work all fucking day, you don't got shit. Thank you for working so hard so I can be home all day. Free. I can use my EBT. Go to work for me, white boy, white girl. Yeah. Go to work for me.
You thought you're gonna be allowed to do this disrespect. Now look, like I said, you're in the north. You don't see no Somali community down here in the south where I live at. You would have been out to pay quick, Jack. These white folks, you said that shit been somewhere like Alabama, Georgia, Florida. They coming to see you that day, nigga. They coming to see you. You're in Texas. So you can do that up in Minnesota, Ohio, and Maine. And it's going to take those white people a little longer to come see you. That's why you never seen, there's no Somali community nowhere in the South. None. None. And then you was in the South Pole, you guys talking that fuck shit. They come, let your ass be like in Selma, Alabama, motherfucker, Jackson, Mississippi, over there with Joe be showing that black town, Mississippi. Be over there as a Somali, talking that shit, and see if somebody's not coming to see you. All right? And that's why they knew not to put you in the South. Those liberal white people knew not to put you down here in the South. They knew where to put you at. That's true too. They knew they were bringing your punk ass over here. Who would accept you to be in their community? There's not one Somali community in Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Texas, or Oklahoma at all. You know why you think ain't nobody put these Somalis here when they brought their ass over here? Because they knew that beat into their ass. And you know, white people don't want to hear that they not gonna be they're entitled. So when they come to get these niggas, anybody tell, oh, you shouldn't have did that. You did wrong. They say you should have brought their ass over here. And that's what you get for bringing them over here. We never told you to bring these weirdo people over here. That's what they tell you.
So yeah,
So go, Joby. Yeah, read those comments.
I see some comments that I've not read from earlier is Jason says Fox on TikTok really tripping about that half-breed Black Panther dude. I don't trust none of them. CIA
they trip. They say he's not one of them. Exactly. He's exactly. He's a mulatto. They say this dude they know. Where did they get the Black Panther name? I said they always be tired of the name with stuff. Our people. Create your own group. They can't. Create your own fake group, nigga. You half breed. Create your own group. Keep our names out your mouth because they can't. They never create nothing from them. They always take something that we create and try to remix it. Don't remix our shit. Make your own shit up. Won't you say we're the half-breed nation fighting for Somalis? Do that. Oh, that don't mean shit because you motherfuckers ain't never done nothing. Keep our name out your mouth. I want to take our shit and rebrand it. Oh, we're now the new Black Panther. No, and that's where you got the original Black Panthers suing their ass. The daughter, you see the daughter of Huey Newton? She said the same thing. Keep our name out your filthy mouth. You don't put our name, you don't get the sword with the Black Panthers in our historical movement in Black America by you putting your, create your own group. Create your own shit. And I agree with that. New Black Panther Party. Create your own group, goddammit. So you guys don't know. Huey Newton's daughter is suing ass with copyright infringement. Don't use the Black Panther name. You make up your own goopy shit because they know they can't get no. That's how you know it's COINTELPRO. You know there's some government shit, some disinformation shit because they know any other name nobody would know who the fuck they were. They wouldn't get any. They wouldn't get any credibility. They wouldn't get nobody talking about them. It's because they call themselves Black Panther Party. New Black Panther Party. Who the fuck are you people? Shut the fuck up. You ain't done that in no community. What are you talking about? You that new Black Panther. Go ahead, Joe.
Jabba Jabba says this is a distraction from the WHO facilitating their immigrants to the USA. Small heart NGOs ranking in billions.
Sure do.
That will come after whole Somali families in South.
Hey, sure, what you know, Ricky, these Somalis in the South, don't man, they wouldn't last a month in this motherfucker. The terrorism with these people, what? You get to talking that fuck shit, boy. You talking about your house getting bombed, everybody in there getting blown up, and ain't nothing gonna happen to these white folks. They'll send you a message, boy. You better get your punk ass back to Somalia or somewhere else, but don't come down here with that shit. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, so literally, I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up with all.
You guys never told me about when last time you guys said a black and white TV. I guess never. You guys don't remember. Exactly. Joby, I forgot Joe. I always forget sometimes Joby's in Africa. Joe said, yes, we had a black and white TV. I was like, what? That's like 8 years ago, Joby. That's like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
Black and white TV. I ain't seen a black and white TV since Joby's mother was a child.
That's just love, much love, family. Thank you so much for tuning in. That has been our time with you guys. Thank you again for keeping the conversation.
That's love, fam. I'll see you guys Friday. Joby's gonna do a music show tomorrow. So you Negroes kick rocks.
So yes, much love, family. Peace, and we out. Take care and have a great day.